I see, you know, people are asking me, Jane, do you really have hope? And I know the problems that the world faces, but I do have hope. You know, I see our human beings, we're as though at the mouth of a very long, very dark tunnel, and right at the end there's a little star, and that's hope. But it's no good sitting at the mouth of the tunnel and waiting for that star to come. No, we have to roll up our sleeves. We have to climb over, crawl around, crawl under all the problems that I've mentioned that lie between us and the star. And the good news, there are groups of people tackling each one of these problems that I've mentioned and those that I haven't. But the sad thing is they're so often working in their own narrow little tunnel, in their own silo. And they may solve one problem, but they're not thinking holistically.
But then there is the other aspect of this problem, which is not as selfish actors, but as citizens. What are our responsibilities? And I think the most important one is to have a voice. If we don't have a voice, then big tech companies have won. Whether they use that power for good or bad, there might still be a debate. I'm not very hopeful. But what they want is they set the agenda, they set the future of technology. I think the world would be a happier place if tech companies, technology scientists, regulators, and democratic citizens all have a say, and hopefully the developing world has a say, hopefully workers have a say in this. So I think our social responsibility is to have a voice and encourage others to have a voice.
I think sports is for all. I think things are changing. I think we're moving away from this is just masculine sports and this is just female sports. I think we're moving into an area where everybody has the access and ability to compete in any sports they want. When we talk about sports having the power to bring people together, it's also having the power to have people experience every single sport. So things are changing. We're not there yet. We still need society, governments, ministers, people with power to really invest in the growth of women's sports. But when we talk about investing in women's sports, it's also talking about equality for all. Invest in women's sports, but also educate men and boys on why this is important, why we all need to come together. Things are changing. We're not 100%, but we will get there.
Well, one thing we know is that the years before school starts are very important, and that an educational system that lacks a good early foundation is going to be an educational system that's in trouble. But a second aspect of that too is we know the parents and the environment play a very important role. And I think the traditional separation between the school and the family, the idea that parents are surrendering their children to the schools and so forth, is just obsolete. It's simply not correct. What's happening is that the role of the parent in shaping the learning of the child, preschool and then during school, and encouraging the child and interacting with the child, those interactions are as important, if not more important, than the interactions that occur in the school. They supplement, they motivate. And we found that, many studies have found that actually when children's parents or caregivers, whoever is responsible, are actively engaged with the children, encouraging them to learn, helping them, stimulating, giving a back and forth interaction pattern, that promotes learning at a very rapid rate, both in school and out of school.
One of the big advantages of social media is that you can exchange with people, you can talk with people, you can see what their reactions are, and it's things you don't see when you're on TV. So I really pay attention to what people say, the comments. Sometimes comments, maybe we'll talk about later, but comments can be really mean and unproductive. But sometimes people actually say really smart things and have really smart opinions or views of things I didn't think about, and it helps me improve.
The interesting thing is that we permanently save time with faster technologies, faster transport and so on, but we never seem to have it, right? It's very strange that the more time we save, the less we seem to have, right? So I realized that technology speeds up, but it creates a problem for us. Instead of giving us more time, it seems to give us less time, so we speed up our speed of life, our pace of life. But also it seems to be connected to the fact that we change so fastly, right? Our technologies change and interactions change, patterns of association, forms of knowledge and so on. So I realized that if you want to understand modern society, you have also to look to the temporal structures. Modernization, I don't mean it in a normative sense, like it's the good thing, right? I'm just describing what's happening. It means speeding up the world, literally setting it in motion at a faster and faster pace.
The triple planetary crisis, I mean, climate change, but also linked to pollution and also linked to the loss of biodiversity, is probably the worst threat for humanity and for human rights. We know that this triple planetary crisis and climate change affects disproportionately women and girls. And this disparity is not only important in terms of gender equality, but also in terms of effective climate action. Women, particularly women who live in small vulnerable communities, they possess a unique, I would say, experience and knowledge and how to do a management of resources the best possible way, and also a sustainable way. And so if we don't include women in these processes, in particular in decision-making processes, we're losing an opportunity, an important opportunity to solve the climate change crisis and to have effective actions.
The quote, "Without facts, you can't have truth. Without truth, you can't have trust. Without these three, we have no shared reality. We cannot solve any problem. We have no democracy."